Hello ladies and gents, I'm the Beanie 101 and I'm here with another XCOM 2 video, and I've got some really exciting news. The guys at Firaxis over the course of E3 have announced that there's going to be a huge expansion to XCOM 2 called War of the Chosen. This introduces you to a brand new side campaign which will be played alongside the main game. So if you start up a new game and you have this expansion, very much like Enemy Within for the original XCOM reboot, you're going to be able to access all of this additional content. I've got a lot of information and I'm going to show the trailer, the official announced trailer for War of the Chosen at the end of this video. But if you find any of this information useful, don't forget to hit that like button and maybe consider subscribing if you want to see any more XCOM 2 content from my channel. So what is War of the Chosen? It is a brand new campaign and it allows you access to new factions, new hero classes, new enemies, both Alien and Advent, and a whole load of new missions and environments and increased depth to the strategic gameplay. There's a whole lot of stuff right here. We're going to start with the new hero classes. It has been found out that you are not alone in the Resistance. There are 3 additional factions that are going to be able to support you. Now, these factions aren't immediately available. They're a little bit dubious about your own Resistance movement, so you need to get them on side. And that suggests to me that there's going to be specific missions or mission objectives that you need to achieve in order to recruit these 3 factions to your campaign. The 3 factions are going to allow you access to some new hero classes that are supposedly some of the most powerful troopers that you can create in the game, with all the usual new abilities, new skills, new customization options. And the 3 new classes are, firstly, the Reapers. These are supposed to be a stealthy marksman type class that also focuses on sabotaging the enemy, so maybe being able to debuff or play havoc with sabotaging enemies' abilities. You then have the Skirmisher. These are supposedly alien defectors, so these are alien-human hybrids that are supposed to be big, beefy, tankier type characters. Think of your rangers equipped with exosuits. I think they may have flamethrowers, and they also have an ability much like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, where you can pull and drag enemies towards you, so maybe yanking enemies out of cover and then causing devastation with a shotgun blast to the face, or just, you know, punching them in the face, something like that. Those skirmishers sound like good fun. And then you have the Templars, which are a very unique class in that they are more psionic wildlings, and you have the ability to utilize those in very, very new and different ways compared to some of your other troopers in XCOM 2. You have the ability to, every time you take an action, you're going to build up some new resource points, and you can then use those points to unleash more and more powerful abilities. So you may want to take certain actions towards the beginning of a mission and build up points, and then when you face that big huge enemy that you absolutely have to take down, you can then unleash the Templar, cash in all of your points and discharge a super powerful ability. So this allows some very, very different makeup for your squad. I'm all for different classes being added to the game. Can't wait to try them out. But the reason why they're including these new heroes is because, of course, you are going to have to face a new and different threat. So along with the new story that is going to be part of War of the Chosen, the clue is in the title in terms of the type of enemies that you are going to be facing, and these are the Chosen. And these are supposedly the most cunning and dangerous enemies that XCOM have ever faced. And I think they behave very similarly to the Alien Hunters DLC, whereby you encounter one of these tough enemies and you're going to encounter them multiple times throughout your campaign. Now, what makes these Chosen very, very different is the unique way in which they grow over time. So think of the Nemesis system, in case any of you guys have played the Shadow of Mordor outdoor game, these enemies are procedurally generated. Maybe not necessarily in their look and makeup, but in terms of the abilities and strengths that they have, every time you face them, they're going to be picking up new strengths and new abilities that are potentially going to be different every single time you play the game. So everybody is going to see a unique experience with these chosen enemies. The 3 chosen are the Assassin, who is a stealthy cloaking type build, and an enemy that has, much like your own Ranger Troopers, a blade. That means that they can stealth themselves up, they can cloak themselves, and then they're going to try and get up close and personal and hack you to pieces. You then have a Hunter, who is going to be more of a long-range sniper type character, and an enemy that you're going to have to deal with from quite a bit of distance, so you're going to have to find ways of closing the gap on those enemies. And then you have a Warlock, who is more like a psionic enemy, a psionic alien. He's quite big and beefy as well, so I suppose he may have some tanky abilities or some abilities to really charge himself up and buff his own abilities. But the great thing about this is it's procedurally generated, so they're going to have unique abilities every single time you play the game, which is really, really interesting, and it means that yeah, you're going to have some very unique gameplay, and you're going to be able to create your own experience, which is absolutely fantastic. You do also have some new standard enemies. On the alien side, you've got the Spectre, who is going to be able to clone your own troopers and create dark copies of your own XCOM soldiers. So that is going to really cause a threat. If your colonel gets cloned, and you're going to have to go up against a colonel that has your own suite of skills, that could be pretty tough. And you also have 2 new Advent troopers. You have the Advent Purifier, that supposedly relies on explosives and possibly debuffing, and also the Advent Priest, which we don't know a lot about. Supposedly it's a psionically charged enemy, so maybe much like an Advent sectoid is how I'm seeing the Advent Priest. And what else have we got? We've got new environments, new mission objectives, so different mission types, different environments. You're finally going to be able to go to some of the more abandoned cities and go underground in tunnels and have a look at some of the areas that have been affected by the alien bioweapons during the original invasion. And that is going to lead us to our other brand new enemy, and that is the Lost. Now these look like they're zombie type characters, and as enemies they hunt around in packs. The guys at Firaxis commented that they were like a swarm. So these are a swarm of enemies, and they take absolutely no prisoners. So these will attack anything in sight, whether they are your own troopers or other enemies on the battlefield. And they are drawn to the sound of gunfire and the sound of battle. So if you're in one of these environments and you're on one of these mission types, then you could stumble across the Lost, and they could cause absolute havoc amongst your own troopers and also throughout the enemy ranks themselves. So a really another new interesting mechanic that they're adding to the gameplay to add some depth to the missions, which I can't wait to try out. I really can't wait. You're also going to be able to send some of your resistance into covert actions, very much like the Long War mod. So you can send soldiers, scientists and engineers on special missions which, if successful, are going to grant you boosts to your resources and also boost favour to any of the particular factions that you now have access to, like I say, the Reapers, the Skirmishers or the Templars. You also have an ability to develop bonds with compatible teammates for new abilities and perks. So if you take the same team of troopers out on a regular basis, they are going to synergize with one another and gain new perks because they are developing close bonds and they're sharing experiences out on the battlefield. You also have a sit-rep system, so I see this as something like very similar to Dark Events, but on a mission-by-mission basis, where you're going to get modifiers to that you can select on your tactical level to provide a unique challenge or provide unique modifiers to specific missions. So it's like counter Dark Events, if you will. At least that's how I'm seeing it. And you also have a new challenge mode, which is outside of the campaign. It's a one-shot community challenge, so a one-shot mission that you're going to be able to try out. There's going to be leaderboards. There's obviously going to be lots of strategizing about how best to take on these missions, and we're going to see what the community can come up with and who's going to be able to claim top spot on the global leaderboard. No doubt some wise crack who's going to be able to hack the leaderboard and jump to the top within a matter of moments of it being released. So there we have it. That is all the information that we have on War of the Chosen. Now this is going to be available on PC, on Xbox One and on PS4, and it's coming very, very soon. It's coming on the 29th of August. I can't wait. There's one thing that I haven't shown you just yet, and that is the full gameplay trailer that was shown at E3. So I'm going to play that for you now. But thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and have found it useful, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. It helps other people find my content, and consider subscribing if you want to see some more XCOM 2 content that is going to appear right here on my channel. I'm really excited. Here we go, here's the trailer. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you again in the next video.
You're not supposed to be here. True battle. If only you knew the truth.
There were 3 resistance groups that we consider a legitimate threat to Advent. Together, they'd make one hell of a fighting force. Too bad they hate each other.
So, you do exist.
They were sent here to purge the lost.
You are safe here. That can't be good.
Advent Hobbit. I suppose we should begin then.
Now the real war begins.